My beloved child, listen carefully. What if your constant search for secret enemies is not keeping you safe, but giving fear control over the very attention it claims to protect? I know you have been wounded. I know trust has been broken. I know there were moments when kindness concealed manipulation and promises dissolved into disappointment. I do not condemn you for becoming cautious. I am not ashamed of the part of you that learned to watch, but I am leading you out of exhausting suspicion and into mature discernment. When fear becomes your interpreter, every changed tone begins to sound like hostility, every delayed reply begins to feel like rejection, and every disagreement begins to look like betrayal. Soon you are no longer responding to what happened. You are responding to what anxiety says might be happening behind what happened. Beloved, this is not the freedom I desire for you. I may call you to pay attention, but I have not called you to investigate everyone. I may reveal a pattern, establish a boundary, or give you courage to walk away, but I will not require you to become omniscient before you can be obedient. You do not need to uncover every private conversation, decipher every expression, or discover every hidden motive. As it is written, the Lord neither slumbers nor sleeps. What escapes your notice does not escape mine. What waits in tomorrow does not surprise me. While you rest, I remain attentive. While you release what you cannot control, I continue to guard, guide, and sustain you. My peace is not blindness. It is a guard at the gate of your heart, keeping panic from entering disguised as wisdom. Therefore, slow down. Bring every fear, every impression, and every unanswered question into my presence. I am not making you blind to danger. I am freeing you from making danger the center of your life. So ask yourself gently, has suspicion been wearing the clothing of discernment? Has repeated warning trained your mind to find hidden threats inside ordinary uncertainty? Let us now uncover how that pattern begins, how it grows, and how fear can turn even a simple silence into evidence of an enemy. My beloved child, suspicion rarely takes control all at once. It often begins with something real. Someone betrayed your confidence. Someone concealed the truth. Someone gave you words that sounded faithful while their actions carried another message. The pain taught you to be cautious, caution taught you to scan, and scanning slowly became a habit you no longer knew how to turn off. Then ordinary uncertainty began to feel dangerous. A message seemed shorter than usual, and you wondered what had changed. A call went unanswered, and your mind supplied the reason. A door closed, and you assumed someone had worked against you. A familiar face carried an unfamiliar expression, and you treated it as proof. Someone asked for space, and fear translated distance into rejection, secrecy, or betrayal. Beloved, notice the difference between what you observed and what you concluded. You know the reply was delayed. You may not know why. You saw the expression change. You may not know what burden was behind it. You heard the disagreement. You have not therefore uncovered an enemy. Do not mistake a possibility for a revelation. When you repeatedly listen to voices that predict hidden attacks, secret opposition, and betrayal behind every inconvenience, your mind can become trained to search for what it has been told to expect. Soon, every silence appears loaded, every setback seems arranged, and every relational change becomes part of an invisible plot. You begin checking, comparing, and replaying. You begin collecting fragments, reading silence, and building conclusions. You revisit conversations, study small details, and connect events that may never have belonged together. Yet the more you investigate, the less settled you become. This is how counterfeit discernment steals peace while promising protection. It leaves your thoughts restless, your spirit discouraged, your attitude hardened, and your heart afraid of tomorrow. It does not help you respond faithfully to what is true. It keeps you imprisoned by what might be true. My child, I am not telling you to ignore patterns. A closed door may require redirection. Repeated dishonesty may require distance. Harmful conduct may require a firm and holy boundary. But noticing details is not the danger. Assigning guilt before truth has been established is the danger. Therefore, pause and ask, has what you call discernment made you clearer and more faithful, or merely more frightened and consumed? Do not answer with shame. Look beneath the habit with compassion, because this constant watching did not appear without a wound. Before you can release the alarm, you must understand the pain that first taught your heart to keep it ringing. My beloved child, I do not condemn the part of you that learned to watch. I saw the moment trust was broken. I saw the manipulation hidden beneath affection, the deception concealed behind confident words, and the harmful intentions you recognized only after damage had been done. I know there were relationships you needed courage to leave, conversations you needed strength to confront, and doors you needed wisdom to close. Your caution did not appear without a history. Fear began as an attempt to protect you from feeling that pain again. It whispered, if you watch closely enough, you will never be surprised. If you question everything, you will never be deceived. If you expect betrayal, betrayal will never wound you so deeply. But fear cannot keep that promise. Beloved, not every concern is imaginary, but not every fearful impression is revelation. Not every person is trustworthy, but not every person is an enemy. Not every closed door conceals a conspiracy, and not every I care about more than keeping your body away from danger. I am guarding your heart from bitterness, your mind from torment, your character from corruption, your relationships from needless destruction, and your calling from endless distraction. Protection is not complete if you escape a harmful person, but remain imprisoned by the fear that person left behind. Therefore, look within as carefully as you look around. Anxiety can magnify uncertainty. Pride can make correction feel like hostility. Anger can cloud judgment, and bitterness can give an old wound authority over a new relationship. While you search for deception outside, these things may quietly distort your vision from within. You may escape one betrayer and still allow suspicion to reshape you. You may become quick to react, ready to accuse, unwilling to listen, and unable to receive sincere love when it finally arrives. That is not vigilance producing freedom. It is pain continuing its work under another name. As it is written, guard your heart, for from it flow the issues of life. That holy guard is not a prison wall built from fear. It is wisdom standing at the gate, testing what seeks entrance without condemning everything that approaches. My child, do not let those who acted without integrity determine the condition of your heart. Their choices may explain why you became watchful, but their choices must not become the ruler of your future. Bring me the wound, the memory, and the alarm that still rings after the danger has passed. You are not being asked to become careless. You are being taught to see clearly. And now that shame has been lifted from your caution, you are ready to learn what genuine discernment actually observes, how it waits, and why it recognizes fruit instead of pretending to read minds. My beloved child, genuine discernment is not the power to enter another person's mind. It is the patient ability to recognize what is true, what is wise, and what agrees with the character I am forming within you. It does not make you the judge of hidden motives. It teaches you to pay attention to visible fruit. Suspicion asks, what are they secretly planning? Discernment asks, what has actually happened? What pattern can I truthfully observe? What response is wise, honorable, and proportionate? These questions will protect you from two opposite errors: ignoring conduct that should concern you and condemning a person on the strength of an assumption. As it is written, wisdom from above is pure, peaceable, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruit. Therefore, wisdom will not demand that you abandon integrity in order to feel safe. It will keep your motives clean, your words truthful, and your actions governed by self-control. It may lead you into a difficult decision, but it will not train you to live by accusation. Beloved, character becomes visible over time. Watch how a person handles truth, responsibility, kindness, correction, and boundaries. Do their words and actions repeatedly agree? Can they acknowledge harm without twisting the story? Do they respect your no, honor their commitments, and show patience when they cannot control the outcome? One uncomfortable interaction may deserve your attention, but it does not automatically deserve a permanent verdict. A person can speak poorly and later make amends. Someone can misunderstand you without plotting against you. A friend can need space without secretly rejecting you. Time helps reveal whether you witnessed an isolated failure or a settled pattern. Remember Joshua, who accepted appearances without first seeking the Lord, and Samuel, who initially mistook one voice for another. Their stories teach two sides of the same wisdom. Do not accept every appearance without testing it, and do not assume your first interpretation must be correct. True discernment includes the humility to say, I may be missing something. I need more truth. I am willing to be corrected. Fear treats uncertainty as weakness and rushes to close the case. Wisdom can remain steady while understanding develops. Discernment observes without obsessing. It tests without accusing. It sets limits without hatred. It neither throws open every gate nor builds a prison around the heart. My child, patience is protective because truth does not need panic in order to remain true. What is genuine will withstand prayer, time, honest questions, and careful observation. What is counterfeit will eventually reveal inconsistency in its fruit. Therefore, do not decide beforehand that discernment must always end in separation. It may tell you to stay and repair. It may tell you to wait and watch. It may lead you to ask a direct question, establish a boundary, or walk away from repeated harm. Fear chooses the outcome before the facts arrive. Discernment allows truth to direct the response. Now look beyond the intensity of the feeling and examine what it produces. Every voice bears fruit, beloved, and the fruit will reveal whether you are being led into clarity or driven deeper into fear. My beloved child, do not judge a voice only by how intense it feels. Urgency can feel spiritual. Fear can sound convincing. A thought can arrive with such force that you assume it must be a warning from me. But intensity is not authority, and emotion is not proof. Examine what the voice repeatedly produces in your thoughts, your words, and your conduct. True discernment produces clarity. It gives you patience to observe, humility to admit what you do not know, and courage to speak only what is true. It helps you establish a boundary that fits the situation without turning the boundary into punishment. It allows you to protect your heart while still fulfilling your responsibilities, caring for your family, completing your work, and walking faithfully through the day before you. Paranoia produces different fruit. It creates compulsion. You check again, replay again, and search again. You accuse before asking. You gather fragments and call them certainty. You disguise gossip as concern because you need someone else to confirm the story fear has already written. Then you withdraw, not because wisdom has directed you into a healing season of solitude, but because every relationship has begun to feel unsafe. Beloved, as it is written, you will recognize a tree by its fruit. Therefore, examine the fruit. Does this thought make you more truthful or more speculative? More patient or more impulsive? Clearer or more confused? Ready to act wisely or desperate to act immediately? Does it help you walk in kindness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control? Or does it keep your heart in a wilderness of accusation? Remember, peace is not proof that every circumstance is safe. Peace does not ask you to ignore manipulation, tolerate repeated dishonesty, or remain where harm continues. My peace is a sentinel standing at the gate of your heart. It allows truth to enter. It welcomes wise caution. It admits necessary correction. But it refuses panic's demand that every question be answered immediately. Do not confuse peace with avoidance. Avoidance may give temporary relief because you escape the conversation, postpone the decision, or pretend the pattern does not exist. Genuine peace can accompany you into a difficult conversation. It can steady your voice while you say no. It can guard your heart while you create distance or leave what has become destructive. My child, kindness does not require unlimited access. Gentleness does not forbid firmness. Patience does not mean remaining forever beneath repeated harm. The fruit of my spirit shapes how you respond. It does not command you to abandon wisdom. Fear makes the potential enemy the center of your attention. Faith keeps my character and your responsibility at the center. Fear demands that you discover everything another person may be doing. Discernment asks you to remain truthful, prayerful, and faithful with what has actually been revealed. Therefore, when suspicion rises, do not obey it merely because it arrives loudly. Slow down and test its fruit. Yet testing the fruit is only the beginning. You must also learn how to take one specific suspicion apart, separating what happened from what you assumed before a fearful story becomes an unjust action. My beloved child, when suspicion rises, separate three things before you act: the fact, the interpretation, and the conclusion. The fact is what you could honestly verify. The interpretation is the meaning you assign to it. The conclusion is the judgment you formed about the person. Suppose someone speaks to you with a different tone. That is the observation. Then fear whispers, "They are angry with you." That is an interpretation. Soon the story grows. "They have been speaking against me. They are pretending to care. They intend to betray me." That is a conclusion, and you may have reached it without one direct question. Beloved, name only what you know. You heard a change in tone. You received a brief response. You noticed unusual distance. These details may matter, but none of them allows you to enter another person's heart. Do not call an inference a fact simply because it feels convincing. Now ask whether another explanation could fit the same evidence. Perhaps the person is tired, grieving, distracted, overwhelmed, or struggling with something they have not yet shared. This does not mean you must excuse harmful conduct. It means you refuse to let one anxious possibility become the only possible story. Then consider time and consistency. Did this happen once, or has it become a pattern? One harsh reply may call for a conversation. Repeated contempt may require a boundary. One forgotten promise may reveal human weakness. A continuing pattern of broken commitments may reveal unreliable character. Wisdom does not ignore repetition, but neither does it turn one moment into a permanent identity. Therefore, pause before confrontation. Let my peace stand guard while anger settles and anxiety loosens its grip. Do not send the message merely to discharge your emotion. Do not speak while your goal is to wound, expose, or force a confession. Bring your words into the light and ask, "Can I say this truthfully, calmly, and without claiming knowledge I do not possess?" When appropriate, ask directly, "I noticed that our conversation felt different. Is something wrong?" Then listen. Does the response show honesty or evasion, humility or manipulation, willingness to repair or determination to reverse the blame? One answer may not reveal everything, but repeated responses will produce fruit. My child, resist the urge to gather a jury before you have gathered the truth. Do not recruit friends through selective retellings. Do not post coded accusations for strangers to interpret. Do not call gossip prayer simply because you end the conversation with concern. Seek help when safety or wisdom requires it, but do not damage a name merely to make your suspicion feel confirmed. Here is the rule. Do not accuse someone of an intention you cannot establish. Address observable conduct and its impact. You may say, "This agreement was broken," without declaring, "You always planned to deceive me." You may say, "This pattern is harming me," and take appropriate distance without claiming to know every hidden motive. Examine the evidence. Allow time. Ask clearly. Watch the pattern. Choose the wise response. And remember, beloved, even careful personal judgment has limits. That is why my protection may come through mature counsel and through boundaries shaped not by revenge, but by truth. My beloved child, you were never meant to discern every relationship alone. Sometimes my protection reaches you through a trustworthy friend, a wise counselor, or a mature believer who can see what pain and fear have made difficult for you to see. But counsel is not the same as validation. A faithful counselor will not simply confirm every suspicion because you speak with conviction. They will help you separate facts from fears. Examine your own motives and consider your responsibility. They will not strengthen denial when danger is evident, nor strengthen exaggeration when evidence is weak. Therefore, choose counsel carefully. Look for honesty, discretion, spiritual maturity, and freedom from personal gain. Seek someone who does not enjoy conflict, spread private matters, or make every disagreement dramatic. Choose a person willing to challenge you when you are minimizing harmful conduct and when you are assigning motives you cannot prove. As it is written, plans are established through wise counsel, yet wisdom does not mean telling everyone. Secrecy can strengthen confusion by keeping you isolated with your own interpretation, but indiscriminate sharing can wound reputations and create conflicts that truth never justified. You do not need a crowd. You need one or two trustworthy voices who love truth more than the excitement of taking sides. Beloved, boundaries are another way protection becomes practical. A boundary responds to conduct. It does not pretend to reveal the heart. If someone repeatedly breaks confidence, you may reduce what you share. If a relationship moves too quickly, you may slow its access to your life. If agreements are continually disputed, you may put them in writing. If a situation presents credible danger, you may decline it and seek appropriate help. A boundary is not revenge. A pause is not hatred. Distance is not proof that another person is evil. A precious garden needs a gate, but the gate must be guarded by wisdom, not vengeance. There are times when courage will require you to leave a consistently unhealthy relationship. There are also times when humility will require you to repair a relationship damaged by your own accusation. You may need to say, "I judged your motive without sufficient truth. I spoke too quickly. Please forgive me." This does not make you weak. It shows that integrity matters more to you than defending your first conclusion. Let the response fit the evidence, the pattern, and the level of risk. One misunderstanding may need clarification. Repeated dishonesty may require restricted access. Credible danger may require immediate distance and outside assistance. Do not use a hammer where wisdom calls for a question, and do not use a gentle hint where safety calls for decisive action. My child, keep your heart clean while you guard it. Keep your motives pure while you set limits. Keep your words honorable while you address what is wrong. Do not become deceptive while resisting deception, cruel while resisting cruelty, or manipulative while resisting manipulation. Receive the protection that comes through wise people and measured boundaries. But remember, even after counsel has been sought and responsible action has been taken, some questions will remain unanswered. No boundary, conversation, or investigation can uncover every hidden thing. You must now learn how to live faithfully with what only I can know. My beloved child, beneath the need to investigate everything is often a deeper craving. You believe that complete information will remove your vulnerability. You tell yourself that if you can discover every secret, anticipate every betrayal, and identify every opponent, then nothing will catch you unprepared. But control built on complete knowledge is a burden no human heart can carry. You cannot hear every conversation, trace every intention, or see every danger, yet what is hidden from you is not hidden from me. I see beyond appearances. I know the road before you reach it. Tomorrow does not arrive as a surprise to me, and when your strength requires rest, my care does not grow weary. As it is written, the keeper of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Therefore, beloved, you do not need every name, every motive, or every conversation. Divine protection does not make you all-knowing. It gives you enough light for the next faithful step, enough wisdom for the present decision, and enough peace to release what has not been entrusted to you. Consider what constant investigation has already cost. While you study potential enemies, your work waits for your attention. Your family receives what remains of your energy. Your service becomes distracted, your integrity becomes tested, and today's assignment is neglected because your mind is occupied with a case that may never be solved. Do not allow unseen opposition to become more important than visible obedience. Some questions will remain unanswered. Some people will never explain themselves honestly. Some motives may become clear only with time, and others may never be revealed to you at all. These are not cases you must keep mentally open through every night. They are burdens you can place into my hands. No person's intention is stronger than my authority. No private scheme can overturn what I have purposed. No unseen plan deserves more devotion than the work of love, truth, and faithfulness already before you. Therefore, let gratitude widen your vision. Remember the guidance that redirected you, the strength that carried you, and the ordinary mercies you almost overlooked. Fear trains your eyes to notice only what might harm you. Gratitude reminds you that your life also contains help, provision, kindness, correction, and grace. Thanks for watching. My child, you may not know everything happening around you, but you can know what faithfulness requires from you now. You can tell the truth. You can keep your motives clean. You can seek wisdom, honor a boundary, complete your assignment, and rest when the day is finished. Release the unanswered question. Close the imaginary case. Leave hidden motives with the one who sees them clearly. And when suspicion rises again, as it may, you will need more than a comforting thought. You will need a response you can remember. 5 steady movements that return you from fear to truth, from impulse to wisdom, and from restless investigation to faithful action. My beloved child, when suspicion rises again, remember these 5 movements. Do not let fear rush you past wisdom. First, slow down, become still, breathe before you speak, wait before you send the message, and refuse anxiety's demand for immediate action. As it is written, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. A pause is not passivity. It is space for peace to return to its post at the gate of your heart. Second, separate. Name the observable fact apart from the story attached to it. Write, they did not answer my call, rather than, they are avoiding me because they have turned against me. Distinguish what happened, what you felt, and what you assumed. Third, search the fruit. Ask, is this thought producing truthful clarity and self-control, or compulsion, hostility, and confusion? Is it leading me toward wise action, or driving me to check, accuse, and replay? What comes from wisdom can withstand examination. Fourth, seek wisdom. Bring your motives into my presence. Ask not only, are they wrong, but also, is my heart clean? Am I seeing clearly? When the matter is serious or confusing, speak with one mature and discreet counselor who will honor truth rather than merely echo your fear. Fifth, select the smallest wise response. You may need to wait, verify information, ask a calm question, establish a proportionate boundary, or disengage from repeated harmful conduct. Do what the truth supports, not what panic demands. Imagine that a friend cancels 2 plans and then becomes unusually brief with you. Slow down before sending an accusation. Separate the fact from the interpretation. Search the fruit of the thought claiming betrayal. Seek wisdom in prayer and, if needed, through trusted counsel. Then choose the smallest fitting step. I have noticed some distance between us. Is something happening that we should discuss? Their response, joined with the pattern over time, will help reveal what should come next. Beloved, this process is for uncertainty, not immediate and credible danger. If someone threatens you, acts violently, stalks you, or creates an unsafe situation, move toward safety and seek appropriate help promptly. Wisdom does not prolong analysis when protection requires action. Repeat this when the counterfeit voice grows loud. I will not deny danger, invent motives, or surrender my peace. I will attend to truth and take the next wise step. Keep these movements near. Slow down, separate, search, seek, select. Now let us carry every hidden motive, every wounded memory, and every unanswered fear into prayer, where suspicion can loosen its grip and your heart can become guarded without becoming hard. Heavenly Father, my refuge, my defender, my shepherd, and my faithful Father, I bring before you every question I cannot answer and every motive I cannot see. I surrender the stories I have built without evidence, the conversations I keep replaying, and the investigations that continue long after the day has ended. I release my fear about tomorrow. I release the burden of trying to know what only you can know. You see every hidden danger, yet you remain untroubled. You know every path before me, and you never grow weary in your care. Protect me from manipulation, deceit, and harmful intentions. Give me courage to recognize repeated dishonesty and strength to leave situations that are truly unsafe, but also protect me from anxiety that magnifies uncertainty, pride that refuses correction, anger that clouds judgment, bitterness that hardens my heart, and suspicion that turns possibility into accusation. Father, give me discernment to recognize character through consistent fruit. Give me patience to observe patterns without obsessing over details. Give me courage to ask honest questions, humility to receive an answer I did not expect, and self-control to pause when fear demands immediate action. Surround me with trustworthy companions and wise counselors, people who are honest, discreet, and mature, people who love truth more than drama, wisdom more than excitement, and my growth more than automatic agreement. Let your peace stand guard over my mind, my home, my relationships, and my future. When I have done what wisdom requires, teach me to rest. While I sleep, you remain watchful. While I release what I cannot control, your care continues. What I cannot see is still visible to you. Make me attentive, but not obsessed, courageous, but not harsh, guarded, but not hardened. Teach me to observe without accusing, to establish boundaries without revenge, and to walk away from harm without allowing hatred to follow me. Today, I declare that potential enemies will no longer occupy the center of my spiritual life. Fear will not govern my attention. Suspicion will not become my identity. I will walk in truth, keep my motives pure, speak with honor, and take the next wise step. The unseen belongs to you. My obedience belongs to today. I will live faithfully, love wisely, rest peacefully, and trust you completely. In Jesus' name, Amen.